Okay, so we looked at how to write chemical formula using these arms. And arm diagrams, don't really know really what they're called. You can use this method. Just to recap, remember each line represents unpaired electron. So phosphorus has 3 unpaired electrons, so it has 3 arms coming out of it. Chlorine only has 1, so it only has 1. Each one of these has to be completed and filled. So you end up with a P, 1P, but you never show the 1, so you always delete the 1, and Cl, and you've got 3 Cls. That 3 is always slightly smaller, and it's subscript. Now, because everyone learns slightly differently, there are 2 methods of writing formula. So the other method is the crossover method. You can watch that video. It's a YouTube video, and or you can listen to me. And there are 5 steps to do this. So some people like steps. First step is you would write down symbol names. Got to look at the valences. Then you do something called a crossover. And then you cancel out any common factors. Now, we don't really need to worry about that too much, but for instance, if you have a 2 and a 4, the ratio would be the same as a 1 to 2. Any ones. So let's try that as an example on this sheet. So let's take something like nitrogen fluoride. So nitrogen fluoride, first step, what did it say? It said to write down the symbols. Okay, so what are the symbols for nitrogen and fluorine? You've got N for nitrogen, you've got fluorine, F for fluorine. And then if you go back to this, the next thing it says, write the valences of each one above the symbols. Okay, so we want to go back to here. And we'll write them above. Now I don't have a lot of room there, but we'll try that. So nitrogen, so group 5, it has 3 unpaired electrons, so it's a valence of 3. Fluorine is in group 7, so it has 1 unpaired electron, so it's in group 1. So if we go back, what's the third thing we're meant to do? We're meant to cross over the valences, write the numbers slightly below and to the right of each number. That's your subscript numbers, but we can worry about that in a minute. So what does that mean? I mean, cross over that 3 goes there, that 1 goes there. Okay, it's a bit of a mess there, so we rewrite that and say 1 there and fluorine 3 there. Now, next step, cancel out any common denominator. We don't have a common denominator between 1 and 3, so we don't make that. So the next step is omit 1 if there's a 1 there. So there is a 1, so we go back there and we've got to delete that 1. I've got an eraser here, which is handy. I can just delete the 1 there. Okay, now that is now the formula for nitrogen fluoride, NFe3. Okay, so let's just check, see what else there is. That's going through magnesium. Magnesium chloride, there's an example that I'd obviously done in class last year. That's giving you a similar idea. Okay, now it's entirely up to you how you do these. So you've got 2 methods to do. Try them both. I've given you 4 examples here. The answers are on the next slide, but try and go through them without looking at them. And then, try and answer the worksheet yourself by just going through either method. Do it on a piece of paper if it helps, and then write in, the correct formula. Now, just because we're doing it on Google Docs, I will not be overly subscriptive about, making sure the numbers are subscript. If that is really tricky and you're finding that hard, just make it all, the same level. Don't worry about that at the moment. Okay, I hope that's been a bit more helpful and it's cleared up about how to write formula. Feedback would be great. Thank you.